Okay, I have had a hell of a morning. Just everything, just like, you know when just a lot of little things go wrong and you're just a bit like, that's a bit better. You know when just lots of little things go wrong and so now you feel like you can't get anything right. That's how I'm feeling today. Hi guys, I hope you're okay. Today is day 14 of NaPoWriMo. NaPoWriMo means National Poetry Writing Month, which is why I am doing a live stream Write With Me every day of April, and so far we've done it. This is the 2-week mark. We have done a Write With Me every day for 2 weeks. Well done me, well done you if you're following along. Hello to anyone who's watching in real time, and hello to the catch-up crew. I hope you guys are okay. I'm feeling a bit frazzled today. I felt a bit frazzled yesterday. I thought I'd done enough to make me feel less frazzled. Less so now. But I hope you guys are all right. It is Friday. It's Friday, Jesus. Oh God, everything goes so fast, doesn't it? I am in the midst of promoting Lyra Fest, which first event is tonight. So if you are watching this, no matter where you are, what time zone you're in, you should join our first event tonight, because it is an online event, which means you should join us. It'd be really great. Go to lyrafest.com. The online event is also free, so you could join in on that. That'd be lovely. I've got the prompts there. I've put it in the chat so that you can see that as well, just in case you can't see the ones that are on the screen. So yeah, we're gonna do some writing. But let me talk you through today's prompts. Escape Rule is a series of prompts that is run by Sav Brown. She is another poet who is also a YouTuber, and she puts out a prompt for every day of April. And hi Amy. Oh, thank you for joining me on these videos. I'm glad you find them useful. Yeah, so let me talk you through these prompts. Escape Rule. Sav Brown does the prompts. Share them online with the hashtag Escape Rule. Loads of people are doing it. And I'm not trying to do anything different, so I'm just including Sav's prompts if you wanna do Sav's. And then I've included a couple of my own prompts as well, because sometimes you wanna do those, sometimes you want something different, so I try and provide a mixture. But if there is a poem that is knocking on your brain that wants to come out, you can use this time to write that together as well. So the prompts today are, the Escape Rule prompt is a miniature. I don't know if any of you have watched, I think it was made into a thing on the BBC, or read The Miniaturist. That's a really cool book set in Amsterdam in the 1800s, and it's about this miniaturist who makes dolls' houses that can like predict the future and stuff. It's cool, and I think you should read it. It's great. So that's where that prompt sent me. The next one is Airbnb. The reason I chose this as a prompt is I find the concept of Airbnb to be quite fascinating. Not only because you have this idea of you're staying in someone else's house, right? Like, they've made this space for you. But also, increasingly now, people are just buying houses or, like, doing up their houses just to Airbnb. And those ones always feel really soulless. Like, I definitely prefer the ones which are actually someone's house, right? So, interesting to see what people do with that. But the reason it's on my mind today is yesterday I went on a tour of Rob Handy's forest garden. If you search Rob's Discovery on YouTube, you'll find this YouTube channel, and this guy Rob has this 2.5 acres of land in Somerset, and he's turned it into this fully self-sustaining like permaculture garden, and it's amazing. Like, he can feed like something like 3 fully grown adults all year round with the food that he grows. It's really cool to like go around and learn stuff. But he has beehives, but he's like, I don't like to call myself a beekeeper because all I do is build structures and let the bees move in. Like, he doesn't, maintain them. He doesn't even he does a tithe of their honey, where he takes only 5 to 10% of their honey every other year. So it's mostly just, they're useful to have near his land as pollinators. He's not there like keeping bees for their honey or farming them or anything like that. Anyway, so he was like, I don't like to describe myself as a beekeeper. And then Beth said, oh, you're more of a bee host. It's like Airbnb, but obviously the pun being bee and bee. Anyway, I don't need to explain that to you, but that's the reason why it is on my mind today. So if you want to play around with the honeybee pun, by all means do, but I think the idea of an Airbnb property is interesting enough anyway. And then finally, the last prompt came from my 642 things to write about thing, and what I do when I'm trying to pick one is I literally just open it at random, and if one works, I pick it. And this one was describe heaven. Now, for those of us who maybe don't have the best relationship with organised religion, I don't know about you. I don't know your story. I don't know if the idea of heaven makes you feel deeply uncomfortable like it does me. But I encourage you to have fun with this. So like, maybe it's your idea of heaven. I like the idea that heaven is just whatever we want it to be. So I'm interested to hear a positive twist on it, So like, tell me about that. Me telling people to have a positive twist on describing heaven, like, it's just sort of picturing like everyone's a bit like me, a little bit messed up when it comes to the idea of heaven. Anyway, I hope you've got a cup of tea, you've got your notebook or your laptop together, and you're ready to go. This tea is lovely. It is the cream egg tea from Bird and Blend. I don't know if you guys know about the brand Bird and Blend, but they do like custom tea. It's all like fair trade. It was really good. But this one is cream egg tea, and it's got like chocolate and like loads of floral stuff in it, and it's just like it's really nice. All right, Josie, shut up. They don't want to know about your tea. They want to get writing. So let's do it. Today, I've changed up the music, so you can let me know what you think about the music today. This is also from Harris Heller, who does free to use streaming music. Thank you, Harris. But this is the ambience one, which I think might be more conducive to poetry. Definitely buy that tea, Amy. It's so good. They do it in tea bags as well. That's the thing I love about Bird and Blend. I love having loose leaf tea. There's something about the ritual of it that makes a cup feel extra special. But I also acknowledge that it's a ball ache if you don't have all the equipment ready to go. So yeah, I definitely recommend checking out that tea. Or any of them. My favourite one from there is gingerbread chai. It was really nice. Okay, so get your notebook or your laptop together. We're going to get started. Here's how this works. And so I'm going to play some music. I'm going to try and remind you every 5 minutes, so that if you wanted to write 5 minutes about each prompt, you could do that. Or if you just want to write about the same thing for 15 minutes, then that's great. I tend to do one for 15 minutes. I think you can really, really get into it a little bit, which is nice. And yeah, I will try and remind you every 5 minutes, but we'll see how we go. At the end, please do share your favourite line of what you've written. Whether you're watching in real time or you're on catch-up crew, I'd love to read a line of what you've written as a result of our thing today. Okay, let's go, shall we? I'm going to start some music. Vibes, am I right? And we're going to start the timer. And I'll see you on the other side, guys. Let's get writing. Okay guys, that has been 5 minutes, so if you want to swap to prompts, swap to your next one now. Okay guys, that has been slightly more than 10 minutes, so if you wanted to swap to the last prompt, do so now. Okay guys, finish your sentences and we'll come back together in a sec. Okay, we're going to pause the music. I would love to be able to have the music on low behind while I'm talking, but it's hard for me to get the levels right. I don't know what it sounds... I don't know what it sounds like for you, but also I get easily distracted, and when there's music playing, even if there's no sound, it makes me feel makes me feel a bit funny, a bit distracted. So if you want to have a little read through what you wrote and share your writings in the chat or in the comments if you're a catch-up crew, I would love to read it. I kind of shocked myself and went for the heaven one, which I wasn't expecting to do, but I'll read you the first couple of lines of what I wrote. I ended up writing a mantra about how I want to create heaven on earth, but I'm not going to read you that. I sort of had fun at the beginning with like listing what I believe heaven to be. Thank you, Amy, for letting me know about the sound. So this is what I wrote about heaven. Heaven is belting out Belinda Carlisle on summer afternoon drives to catch some waves. Heaven is warm wind in your hair, the smell of garlic. Heaven is a cup of tea always drinking temp. Heaven is a crisp cold IPA in a sunny beer garden, a perpetual 2-pint giggle with no hangover. Heaven is giving yourself a little treat all the time with no guilt. Cigarettes are just cool and they don't cause cancer or asthma. Heaven is cat cuddles with no allergies. Heaven is a perfectly built bonfire. It is clear skies, brightest blue to uncountable stars. Heaven sounds like toddler giggles and never any tantrums. The Spice Girls never broke up in heaven. They continued to make excellent pop for decades. They are busy mates with Dolly Parton. Heaven is being perfectly well rested, except when you want cosy blanket sleepiness. Heaven is falling asleep, no problems, the full 8 hours straight through. That's where I'm going to stop. I shed a lot more than I thought I would. But I think it's interesting, that idea of writing down what heaven is, because I'm not sure I would have written it. I'm interested to see what, like, 20-year-old Josie would have written versus almost 30-year-old. But yeah, if you want to share yours in the chat, I would love to hear it. Or in the comments for Catch Up Crew. I'm going to start wrapping up. I just want to say thank you so much for joining. I've really enjoyed doing these. Having the discipline to do it myself has been really helpful, and having people join me along the way has been really nice as well. I really appreciate your comments. It's really great. Tomorrow is... Thank you, Amy. I'm glad you liked it. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing it quite early. Because it is my husband's birthday and we are going out for brunch and then on to a beer festival, where I will be trying to perfectly maintain the 2-pint giggle. No hangover. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, so I'll be doing it quite early in the morning. I'm thinking about 9 a.m. So yeah. I'm going to just read out what Amy wrote in the chat. We've got, feeling artificial is like being invited to a dollhouse. All the toys want to play with you. When you're feeling like a rag doll stitched with pessimism, you don't want to go to the tea party. I like it. I really like it. That idea of like a doll's house being the epitome of what is acceptable and good and what is valued in society, and maybe when you don't feel like that, how you're like a rag doll in comparison to this picture perfect life. Interesting. Love it. Love the interpretation. I think you should read The Miniaturist. It is by... Do I have a copy still? It's by Jessie Burton. And, yeah, it's cracking. I really enjoyed it. My mother-in-law got it for me. One of those ones that creeps up on you. You're sort of reading it and you're like, oh, I don't know if I like this. It's not really my thing. And then all of a sudden you're in and you're like, but what happens? So yeah, definitely worth checking out. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream. Just want to say, if you want to keep up with these, definitely click subscribe and turn on notifications. And if you want some extra help on how to write poems and stuff like that, then I've made a whole series of videos on how to write different forms of poetry, so you should check those out. And you should, if you're interested in learning how to publish a book, I've also done a series about publishing poetry. Speaking of books, you can buy mine. It's linked in the description. Faulty Manufacturing. My debut poetry collection, out now with Verve Poetry Press. And yeah, I'm really proud of this, and I'd love for you guys to read it. Okay, shut up. Stop trying to sell people stuff, Josie. I will see you guys tomorrow, early morning. But if you're not up for the live stream, that's fine. You can do it on Catch Up Crew when you're ready. Have a lovely rest of your day, guys. I hope it goes well for you. Bye!